Hey everyone, Chloe here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers, welcome. So in today's video, I wanted to address the very important topic of why men see women as disposable until proven otherwise. Now, I don't say that phrase to be negative or to frustrate women or to devalue women or to shame, embarrass, or to humiliate women, but it is very important for women to understand how men are wired and, more importantly, about what men are inclined to value, to chase, and to cherish. But the reason why men see women as disposable until proven otherwise is because through the eyes of men and their wiring, men are wired to desire as many women as humanly possible, and they are wired to be lustful, and they are wired to be visual. And men, particularly when they are under the age of 50, are driven by pleasure, and they are wired to see women, all races of women, as a buffet to be experienced. And they are wired to desire and lust after the opposite of themselves, which is femininity and softness and mystery. And men are wired to be committed to their vitality and their virility. And more importantly, men are wired for the chase, and they are wired for the conquest, which is why men are naturally territorial when it comes to their wives and families. And it is very important for women to understand that the only way to stop a man from treating you as disposable is by cherishing yourself. And once a woman fully begins to understand and accept how men are wired, not who we want them to be or not who we think they should be, then a woman can begin to do the necessary groundwork, which is why you need to subscribe to this channel, of investing in her feminine wiring and learning how to treat herself like the prize in order to attract the high value man and protector and provider that you desire. And because so many unsuspecting women are so uninformed and misinformed about what drives men, and they are so uninformed and misinformed about the value of cherishing their womanhood and putting it on a pedestal, their dating and courting and marriage and motherhood experiences are often tragic and unfulfilling and dissatisfying, and are often very confusing cautionary tales that are a tick-tick-boom disaster waiting to happen. Now, when I say that men see women as disposable until proven otherwise, it means that a man is not inclined, he is not inclined to cherish a woman based off of her accomplishments or her body shape or her beauty, because a man will only demonstrate the ability to cherish and give a woman what she wants based on how much a woman is in tune with cherishing herself. Because men, and I want you to listen carefully, are not wired to feel responsible for your worth, and men are not wired to feel responsible for your virtue. Men are wired to be takers, and a man will take and take as much as a woman gives. And quite frankly, men do not have the mental or the emotional or the maturity bandwidth to care about a woman's value. So it is up to a woman to understand that it is her responsibility to put her worth and her womanhood on a pedestal, because that is how we get high value men to respect us and to cherish us. And once a woman begins to understand her worth and how men are wired, then a woman will always have the negotiating power to walk away from a low value man's table when she does not like what is being served. Now, a lot of women often use their accomplishments and financial success and their resumes and their ability to work hard, and they often confuse their accomplishments with the power of living and dwelling in the feminine principle. But those accomplishments and success are not what makes a man want to cherish a woman. The secret to getting a man to chase you and to cherish you is for a woman to cherish herself. Now, when I say cherish, do not confuse or conflate a woman cherishing herself and her womanhood with being educated or being a boss and being outspoken and otherwise being a very successful person. Because in the realm of wielding power and money and prestige, those are signs of success in the masculine realm. And women often confuse success in the masculine realm with being desirable by men, when nothing could be further from the truth. But the only men that are drawn to women who lead with their accomplishments are feminine energy men or users or opportunists and mama's boys. So a woman who dwells and thrives in the masculine realm will not have long-term success with a high value a masculine man because their energies will clash and the power struggles will ensue. Now, for the modern woman, it is very common for a woman to be college educated and successful, but it is very uncommon for today's modern woman to be feminine. So if you are a woman who desires to rest comfortably in your feminine, who wants to be cherished, who wants to be provided and protected and respected for her feelings, and who seeks a masculine provider, then you must become a woman who understands how to cherish your womanhood. Now, cherishing yourself and your femininity has everything to do with being fully invested in the feminine realm. And a woman who puts a premium on her femininity on the outside and the inside, that is the key here, is a woman who will find success with a masculine man and a protector and a provider, as success with a masculine man can only be sustained, and I want you to listen carefully, when a woman is committed to doing the internal feminine work of making herself the prize. So ladies, you cannot just call yourself the prize. Becoming the prize means radical self-care. It means investing in your softness and devoting the necessary feminine time for pampering and beautifying and having the ability and the skill to filter out low-value men and having the ability to walk away from the table when you do not like what is being served. That is what makes a woman desirable and not disposable to men. And a feminine woman must learn how to feel confident and comfortable with receiving without shame and putting herself and her womanhood on a high value feminine pedestal. Now, how does a woman begin to cherish herself? By being committed to loving herself, because a man, and I want you to listen carefully, cannot fall in love with a woman, nor can he cherish a woman who does not love herself. And please keep in mind that just because a woman is accomplished or is beautiful, it does not mean that she loves herself or that she cherishes herself. And when a man is experiencing a woman who does not love herself, she will be a generic, a dime a dozen experience that he will see as disposable. So what are the signs of a woman who does not love herself? For starters, a woman who neglects herself, or a woman who doesn't take any pride in her feminine appearance, or a woman who caters to a man like she is his mother, which is based on control and insecurity, or a woman who accepts abuse that is based on low self-worth and low self-esteem, or a woman who chases a man to shoot her shot, that is the masculine realm, or a woman who tries to fix, repair, and mend a broken man over fixing herself, that is codependency, or a woman who tries to buy or to lease or to rent to own a man's love, that is control, and control is based on insecurity, or a woman who allows a man to manipulate her finances for his own personal gain, that is low self-worth. And more importantly, a woman who does not love herself is a woman who has not done the necessary internal work of healing her trauma, her mommy issues, her daddy issues, and or her childhood issues like neglect and abandonment and abuse, which are very common experiences for all races of women, but particularly for Black women who are groomed to neglect themselves for the greater good of others, and are groomed and conditioned to be superheroes who lack vulnerability, and vulnerability is a requirement for healing. And without vulnerability, how can a woman exude softness? And without vulnerability and softness, how can a woman even begin to open her heart to loving herself? And without vulnerability and softness, a woman is doomed to only look the feminine part, but she will remain a masculine woman and a hardened woman and a frightened woman on the inside. And she will always self-sabotage the goodness that will come into her life because she will not feel worthy when the good actually shows up. And when a woman carries the baggage of her trauma into her adulthood, she is more inclined to attract and to be attracted to dysfunction and low-value men because she did not do the necessary groundwork to feel worthy. So the job of a high-value feminine woman is to value her womanhood just as much as she values her accomplishments. by packaging her femininity in a way that will work for her and by respecting and cherishing her virtue. And for those of you who don't know what virtue means, it means cherishing the power of what sits between your legs. And women, unfortunately, often give away their virtue for free 99, and then they are wondering why a man isn't chasing them, cherishing them, or committing to them, and are treating them as a disposable afterthought. But the only way to avoid being disposable, ladies, is to cherish yourself by allowing a man to chase you, spend on you, and invest in you without apology or guilt. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. Men see women as disposable and a dime a dozen because women are everywhere and anywhere, and men in their loins are not wired to cherish women. Men are wired to conquer women, and a man will only step up to the plate of cherishing a woman when a woman knows how to cherish herself. And it is up to that woman to fall in love with herself first instead of looking to fall in love with a man, because a man can only love a woman as much as she loves and cherishes herself. So ladies and lurkers, are all men guilty of treating women as disposable, or does a woman allow a man to treat her as disposable by having no standards? And can a man value a woman who doesn't value herself? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and stay tuned for more feminine content to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and you lurkers in the next one.